Hello, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs. My name is Brittany Corona. I am a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets, and Amanda asked me to present to you some information to help you make some informed decisions about insuring yourself as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, self-employed. And I'm so happy to share with you today some information to help you make informed decisions about your health insurance and help you feel empowered to step into your role as an entrepreneur and leave your day job so that you can follow your passion and all your dreams that you want to do to create a career and a business for yourself. So super excited. I have also gone through this journey myself, so I can resonate a lot with you and share some insider information and some frequent asked questions that I get quite often from many entrepreneurs that are transitioning from getting insurance through their employer to becoming self-employed and insuring yourself. So let's get started. First, as I mentioned, I am a licensed insurance agent through the state of Washington and through Health Markets. That is my brokerage. And so I am, even though I am licensed in Washington, I do have the access to either connect you to another agent in another state or become licensed myself in the state. I can become licensed in any one of the 50 states. So if I'm not already licensed in your state, I'd still be happy to talk with you and or connect you to another one of my colleagues in another state where you reside so that you can get the support that you need. So thank you so much. Again, my job as an agent is to not only discuss what help you meet what your needs are for healthcare, but help you find solutions that match those needs and also match your budget. So I'm going to go through that today and kind of help you kind of see how things work together to meet your needs as far as healthcare through individual policies, so you can kind of have a larger scope of what it looks like. And so that's what we will be talking about today. And then at the end, we'll do I'll provide you some resources so that if you want to take action on any of this, you'll be empowered to do so. So this is going to be an overview. Just know that meeting 101 will go through if that's something you want to look further into. If you have more questions, we'll do a needs assessment, and I'd love to meet with you one-on-one to make sure that we look at all the best options for you based on what your current situation is. So this is basically an overview, so just keep that in mind, and then any individual questions you have, please reach out to me and I'll provide my contact information. So as I mentioned, we have agents through Health Markets nationwide. We have over 3,000 agents. And the reason why I'm telling you this is that even though, like I said, I'm licensed in Washington, wherever I'm not licensed and I'm not going to get licensed for some reason, I will connect you to another licensed agent in that state so that we can make sure that you know what all of your options are for your state, because it is very state specific. Because insurance plans that are available, they vary from state to state and can be vary quite widely. So if it's a state that is not a state that I'm familiar with, I'll definitely connect you. Also want to note that through Health Markets, where I am affiliated. We have a best price guarantee. So just know that if you do decide to go through Health Markets, where I'm affiliated with, that we will provide you with the best prices and the best coverage at the very lowest cost. So that is something that we do guarantee. And also know that my consultations, if you want more information and help deciding on what works best for you, that my advice and my on as far as health insurance consultations is 100% free. Anything insurance consultation, 100% free. So my services are always free. Like, I am your go-to person anytime you need support. As your agent, that is free support. The way I get paid is that the price that you pay to the carriers, I get a small percentage of that. So that's how I get paid. So as I said before, I guarantee all of the prices of being the lowest cost when it comes to insurance. And you never have to pay for my services. So just wanted to clarify that no matter how you purchase your policies, if you get coverage through me, just know that you never have to pay me directly. I get paid by the insurance company. So again, this does not affect the price that you pay for your premium of your insurance policy in any way. So I will, if you do decide to get insurance again, with me, I would be your advocate. So you'd never, in case you ever had an issue with your coverage, I would be your go-to person for that, for any customer service related issues that you needed help resolving. So what we'll be talking about today is we're going to be doing, again, an overview of the scope of what it looks like to have insurance as an individual. And I say, so one benefit of Health Markets is that we have lots of options, and I do a lot of training to stay current on all topics relating to healthcare and the Affordable Care Act and any new products and insurance products that become available. I do training on all of those. So if there's ever new information that I think you might benefit from, I will be reaching out to you directly if you're one of my clients to make sure you have all the latest information. And also, I offer more products than what we'll discuss today. And so please reach out to me if you ever want to research anything or get a quote that's more specific to your needs. So let's move forward here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Health Markets, who I'm my brokerage for the insurance that I offer. So my promise as an insurance agent is to provide you with choice, convenience, and counsel. And so I want to make sure that you know what all your options are today, and so that you fully understand any coverage that you choose and how it works and what will happen when you need to use it, things like that. I'm also going to make it easy for you to get coverage in place as an agent. And also a benefit of if you were to go through Health Markets is not only do they help you focus on your health, which is very important, but also your financial well-being. So that's something I'm also very passionate about helping you protect, which not many insurance companies really talk about, is what happens if you have an accident or an illness and you can't work in your business and you need to access your health, you need access to benefits that your health plan doesn't cover. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So like if you have an accident or illness, there is that concern that if you can even continue to pay for your insurance premiums for many people, and pay for daily living expenses and things like that. If you're not able to work and generate revenue through your business, when you have an unexpected health issue, I'll talk a little bit about how insurance can help you with that as well. So as an agent, I help you design your health benefits packages, help you design a package that spreads out your risk so that if you have any adverse events with your health that happen, that I can help minimize the financial damage that you may have, and help spread out that risk, which will save you money and offer you better protection than a traditional health insurance plan. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So what I will share a little bit more, which not a lot of people know, is layering your coverage. Usually makes the most sense for most people to protect themselves financially when they're also wanting to protect their health. And so we'll go into that as well. So health markets, as I mentioned, we offer convenience, choice, and counsel. And we recruit, so we work with insurance companies that are at an A+ rating and a 95% customer satisfaction rating, which is very good. And then we help, like I said before, help people with not only their health, but their financial well-being. So with the Affordable Care Act, I'm not sure how much you know, but the law as it currently stands is over 100,000 pages long. And it's, yeah, so we'll go over the highlights. We're not going to go over all those pages, but we have attorneys and consultants at our home office in Texas that read it continuously and update us on any changes. So if there's any changes that you would need to know, that is something I can definitely support you with, which means anything that affects you directly with your coverage, I would reach out to you. So yeah, that's a visual, and sorry, my lights are censored, so if I don't move, they turn off. So we're going to go over a few key insurance terms. This is just to kind of give you a visual of how long the Affordable Care Act is as far as what the law is. So we're going to go over some key stuff here now. So key terms, the first one you see here is copay. So a copay is what covers a specific service, for example, doctor's visits. Copays are not included in all plans, and what most people don't know is that a copay usually only covers the conversation with the physician and not other services that they may provide, for example, labs or procedures they perform during the same appointment, they're not covered by that copay. And so that's a misconception that a lot of people have. Next is, so the deductible, you can see there is a specific dollar amount that your health insurance may require that you pay out of pocket each year before your health insurance plan begins to make payments for your claims. So typically, if you have any of these other things outside of what's covered with the copay happen, that goes towards the deductible. And so that deductible needs to be met before an insurance company will help you pay start helping you pay for your medical bills. Next is coinsurance, which is the amount of insurance a health insurance company splits with you after the deductible is met. So usually you pay 20% of the bills or more, and then the insurance company, they pays the other 80%, to give you an idea. This leads to an out-of-pocket maximum, which is supposed to be the most that you will owe on a health insurance policy plan for that year. So out-of-pocket maximum is the most important thing to know about a health insurance policy. It is much more important than the copays or the deductibles. So because it is what you'll have to pay in the worst case medical event, for example, hospitalization or ongoing serious treatment, that's why it's really important to know. Even more important to understand in a health policy is out of network. So most plans available through the Affordable Care Act are now HMO or EPO. So HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization, which these types of plans have to visit the primary care physician that accepts your plan and is assigned to you on your plan's ID card. So these plans also require you to get a referral for any care you may need, and you cannot see any other physician or receive medical services without the primary care physician's permission, or you're considered out of network and will owe 100% of any bills that you receive for anything that you do not have a referral for, except for in some emergency situations. The other type of plans currently available through the Affordable Care Act or EPO, which stands for Enhanced Provider Organizations. These plans, they require you to pick a specific network, for example, UW Medicine, and you're only able to see physicians that are part of that facility, but that doesn't mean that you can't see every doctor in that facility. You can only see a limited number of doctors in that facility who accept the plan. This has made it very confusing for people who have these plans because they have to be careful and check and see if they'll be covered before their visits, or they'll risk owing 100% of the visits that are not considered in network. So the last type of plan is a PPO plan, which stands for Preferred Provider Organization. These plans are now only available through some group and health sharing plans and are not currently available on any ACA plans here in Washington State. So definitely check with your state to see if this is a plan that's available. PPO plans let you see any doctor you choose, but they have a list of preferred providers that charge less than providers who are not on the preferred list. So what happens to a lot of people is they have an out-of-pocket maximum of $8,550 or less. They find out that they need inpatient surgery, so they go and check and make sure everything will be covered for their surgery. Then they're told it will all be covered, and then when they have the surgery, they find out afterward that they owe a lot more than their out-of-pocket max, because even though the surgeon in the hospital accepted the plan, the staff at the hospital that attended to them after the surgery is considered out of network because they're not contracted with the hospital that was part of their network, and they end up owing far more than what they had planned for. So my goal as an insurance agent is to make sure you understand these things about a policy we put in place, and that we have a plan for you to either handle or avoid these extra costs. So we have a state-based exchange, whereas here in Washington State, whereas most other states have to use the FFM, which stands for Federally Funded Marketplace, So definitely check with your state and see what option that you have. You can purchase an Affordable Care Act health insurance plan through the Washington State Exchange if you're in Washington State, which would be considered on exchange, or we currently have one carrier, which is Regents, who you can purchase an individual health insurance plan from directly. And this is called purchasing your plan off exchange. But if you purchase the plan directly from the carrier, you will not be eligible to qualify for any subsidy of that plan. So let's talk about subsidies. Subsidies is a tax credit that the IRS lets you take early based on your modified adjusted gross income, which they expect you to estimate for the rest of the coming year. So this is fine if you're a W-2 employee, but as you know, as a business owner, you don't always know how much revenue you're going to generate for that year. So it's kind of a little bit more difficult to determine that. So subsidies can cause you to owe money back on your taxes if you guess your income too low for that current year. So definitely keep that in mind. I would estimate kind of a low ball dollar amount for your income for your business so that you don't owe tax money back to the IRS. Definitely, I'll provide some more information on that at the end so that you can check on this for yourself. So yeah, if your income changes by 150 or more for more than a month in a row, you have to report that change to the exchange so that they can adjust your subsidy accordingly. So definitely keep that in mind. If you do not report these changes in your income, you could potentially owe back some or all of your subsidy for that tax year. And if you guess the wrong modified adjusted gross or do not file your taxes on time, you may lose your subsidy as well. The next option on here is short-term medical. So these plans, they have to be renewed every 3 months, which means if you have to be healthy when it's time to renew them. Also here in Washington, short-term medical plans can only be placed once every 12 months, meaning if you buy a 3-month plan, you have to wait another 12 months before you can enroll in another short-term medical plan for another 3 months. These plans, they cover hospitalization only, so there's no upfront coverage for doctor's visits or medications. These plans are designed for those who just need to have coverage while they're waiting for employer health coverage to start. Unfortunately, there is only one short-term medical plan option currently available here in Washington State, as it requires you to pay the entire 3 months of premium upfront. So this is not going to be something I typically quote most clients on because it is a very expensive option and not the best coverage available for most people in their medical situation. Finally, there are health sharing plans, also known as faith-based sharing plans, but these plans have very strict requirements that I do not believe would be a good fit for most people in your shoes. And there's only one that I'm aware of that consistently pays their members' claims. So we'll be going over several of these options to help you make the most sense based on your specific situation. So keep that in mind and know that I'm here to support you if you want to look into this further. So this is how much a major medical event can actually cost you. So we're going to break that down. So an average family of 4 is paying almost $17,000 a year in health insurance premiums. That's on a individual plan, not an employer plan. The average hospital stay is 3 days, which can cost upwards of $30,000. The insurance company if they have not collected enough premiums for a family to cover a hospital stay for just one family member, they may raise the deductibles and out-of-pocket maximum. So an average deductible is now $3,000, but as I said before, in a hospitalization, you're more likely going to end up owing the out-of-pocket maximum, which is $8,350 for most plans. But not many people have over $8,000 lying around to pay those out-of-pocket maximums. So we're going to talk a little bit about kind of what that means and what you can do about avoiding to pay have unexpected $8,000 plus out-of-pocket maximum that you may have coming up out of nowhere. So there are some gaps, as you can see, with medical insurance, where there's non-covered medical expenses, deductibles, co-insurance, and co-payments. And many of us do not have, like I said, the money to saved aside to cover all those gaps and what you're going to be paying in additional costs outside of your premiums. So 42% Americans, they're living paycheck to paycheck with no idea on how they will cover their medical bills, let alone their time off work and other living expenses. So this is a statistic from 2012. Don't you think the number has gone up since then? So you're right. It's now 76% of Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck. So we're gonna, as an agent, I make sure that I help you look into options that allow you to financially survive any major medical event. So the cost of the leading cause of personal bankruptcy is a cancer diagnosis, because most of our life-saving medications are $100,000 a year or more. Most of the life-saving medications currently available are still considered experimental, which means that they're not yet approved by the FDA. Individual health insurance policies will cover drugs that are approved by the FDA. So this means that your plan will most likely not cover the life-saving medication you need after a cancer diagnosis. Also, what no one ever thinks about until they need treatment is how their insurance policy will work when they need it the most. Individual health plans have a set network, which will restrict the physicians available to you through that plan. Treatment plans usually have to be approved by the health insurance company as well. So I don't know about you, but I want to be able to access the very best treatment available. If someone I love were to ever be diagnosed with anything serious, I want to make sure that they have the best treatment. So I'm going to make sure you know about what your options are so you can take control of your benefits and get the money you need when you need it the most. We need to make sure that you or your loved ones get the very best treatment available, and while it's still able to meet other financial responsibilities during a major medical event. So 60% of bankruptcies are caused by medically related things. So here's the statistic I can't stand and want to make sure that everyone avoids, and that's that 80% of people who had to file for medical bankruptcies had medical insurance at the time of the medical event and didn't understand that their policy was going to work when they needed their coverage the most. So it's my personal mission as an insurance agent to make sure this doesn't happen to anybody that I meet. So if you ever end up in a hospital or you need ongoing medical treatment, Please know to apply for financial aid right away, directly with each facility you are seen at. The reason you need to apply for financial aid is it does several things for you. First, they may forgive a portion or all of your bills. Second, it will keep you from being billed right away. So because it usually takes 30 to 90 days to process your financial aid paperwork to see if you're approved, that gives you more time to figure out your best option moving forward. Third, if you end up owing any money, you'll be able to set up an interest-free payment plan directly with the facility we're seen at, which will be much better than putting it on a high interest credit card, or even worse, ignoring the bill altogether and letting it end up in collections. The other issue you have to worry about with a major medical event is if you're not able to work for a month or more, how do you plan to continue to maintain your current lifestyle? So 71% of people who survive a major medical event without having to file bankruptcy still have crippling debt for over 3 years after the event. 85% of collections are being caused by medical bills. So I'm going to show you how to cover these costs and make sure you can avoid any of these things happening to you. So 4 out of 10 households have no way to meet their daily living expenses if the primary breadwinner were gone, and 7 out of 10 would have trouble covering these expenses within 90 days. Approximately 35 million households have no life insurance coverage at all. And as you can see, 50% of all US households that have life insurance feel like they do not have enough. Again, it's my goal to make sure you're fully protected. So I'm going to make sure that if we meet one-on-one, that I let you know about your life insurance options as well. So I design corporate style benefits for my clients. So I typically include a little bit of life insurance, a small amount of life insurance in those quotes. Just like what most employers would offer with a lot of major employers. They usually have other supplemental or life benefits available. So my quotes look very much like what you would see with an employer. I'll also meet with my clients to do life insurance needs analysis to help you figure out exactly how much coverage you need with life insurance and how much you qualify for. So traditionally in insurance industry, you have an agent for each different product that you purchase. The problem with that is that those agents do not know each other, which means that you may end up being a little overinsured. I know that I'm guilty of that as well. So you may either have too little or too much coverage and not know exactly who you should contact when something serious happens if you're spread between multiple different agents for different types of insurance. So I do everything in one place for you. I help make sure that you have the right coverage for your situation and help you if you ever need to make a claim or have a major medical event. And so this presentation here is for those that are 65 and under, who are under Medicare or do not yet qualify for Medicare. And so if you are 65 or older, please let me know so I can connect you to a Medicare agent. But I would be happy to still meet with you to make sure you're in the right hands with an agent in your state. And so I'm going to now go through some frequently asked questions when it comes to being self-insured as an independent contractor or entrepreneur, self-employed person. As I mentioned before, health insurance does not cover everything. And so definitely not saying that you don't need to be forced to have a large emergency savings to cover those out-of-pocket maximums. There are lots of options for supplemental coverage. So that's something I would love to, if you want to learn more about, I'd be happy to share. Life insurance, also a lot of opportunities with that. I love to also do in-depth life insurance needs assessment to make sure that you have the coverage you need for that event as well. So all three of these things, they work together. So a lot of something that a lot of, like I said, a lot of entrepreneurs don't really think about is how important it is to cover those gaps in health insurance coverage with supplemental and life insurance. So that's something that we would talk about one-on-one to help determine what you need and what you can afford with your budget. Another thing that a lot of self-employed women and men business owners both is, like I said, calculating your income to determine what premium tax credits you qualify for. So I'm sharing my screen so you can see these links, and I'll share them in the chat as well. So this is a website you can go to calculate the premium tax credit. So you can see what you may qualify for based on your income, your household income. And also, if you were unemployed this past year and collected unemployment, you may also be eligible as well. So definitely check that out. Also, I included a link to check to see if you may qualify for Medicaid or CHIP, which is a low cost or free medical coverage that may be available to you based on if your income is lower than the threshold to qualify. If you're low income and may possibly want to see if you're low enough income to have free or low cost medical insurance through Medicaid or CHIP, definitely check out that link as well. Also, I have a link here for health insurance coverage for self-employed people, some information there that you can check out also on healthcare.gov. And also, I put my link, so if you want to get a free quote from me to check and see what your options are and how much it costs, there is my link to my website to request a quote. And then I also included my email and my phone number here. So feel free to reach out to me anytime if you have any questions or want to set up an appointment. I'd be happy to give you a free consultation. So I'm going to put that in the chat. Let's see. So I'm putting that in the chat. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not, but I'm here. So just feel free to reach out anytime. It's my mission in life to help make sure that women are protecting themselves in their business, investing wisely in themselves, and protecting and preserving their health. And being able to thrive in the work you do, a lot of that is having a solid foundation with your health and the way you're protecting yourself financially. So again, I'm here to help you or connect you with someone in your state who can help you. So please reach out if you want to learn more or get a free quote or get connected to another agent, and I'd be happy to help you. Otherwise, have a great evening, and I look forward to hearing and connecting with each and one of you. Goodbye.